Australia and New Zealand, we have such an emphasis on physical ability. Sport it plays such an important role in both of these societies where, you guys have got the All Blacks, we've got, the AFL and cricket, and okay, you guys like to say your cricket team's okay, but, okay, fair mix. And that, part of me is what I really struggled with when I first had my accident, because it was suddenly I was no longer able to, and don't get me wrong, my family will back me up on this, I sucked at sport, really sucked.
I'll just be reminding you, I've got to check the meat on the barbecue.
Yes, a very, very important task.
But that's reminded me, last night we were talking about that aspect of physical ability and how everyone takes that. That is like, I know you've mentioned in the past about maybe your mates in the army, it's reality check. When they found out you were hurt, suddenly it points out you're not invincible. And it takes away that ability, and that ability we take we don't even give it a second thought, because of course I can walk over there, and of course I can open the fridge and get myself a drink, all of those things I don't think anyone thinks twice about.
Yeah.
And when you take that away, or someone meets you and that has been taken away, it's quite jarring, because it's the one thing we never second guess, and it's, at the end of the day, it's just another disability.
Yeah.
But because we put so much emphasis and because we just take it for granted, and maybe we shouldn't, and that's why it's such it is a big thing, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to minimise it, but it's...
Well, it is, but it isn't, because physical disabilities were more jarring and more of an effect upon yourself and your family and your tribe in times gone by, when we would rely upon the hunter-gatherer, we would rely on the people who were actually physically able to go out and work the farms, work the fields. Now the thing is as we go forward in technology and in humanity, there is less reliance upon the physicality of people to be able to provide, to be able to be part of the community, to be able to contribute. Suddenly there are so many ways that people contribute that don't require a physical effort.
Or strength.
Or a strength, or, there's just so many, it's becoming more and more all the time. And even yourself, you now currently work as a designer. And, the physical ability to be able to travel to see your clients and that is an advantage. But at the end of the day, would you really need that physicality?
No, I'm sure you could do without it.
And that's really quite something when you stop and think about it. And it's I don't know. It's only something that I've come to realise in this time.
I was just saying, Rob, before, how it's interesting. It's something that when I was talking yesterday with Ben about how this physical disability is so huge to most people, because I think we take moving absolutely for granted.
Oh, you do.
And the idea that that's taken away from you is such a monster, because it's like you may as well take your head off. It's such a thing we have for granted.
Yes.
And realistically, it's no real different. all disabilities are somewhat equal in the way they disable you from things.
Yeah.
But because that one we don't even think about.
Yeah.
It's, it's a big thing. For other people often to get their head around. I think because it's just like, whoa, you what?
Yeah. No, and it really is. Overall, the problem is the label of disability is huge. There's so much stigma that's been placed on it over the years. We've been...
you're in a box, right?
That's
they
it.
Put you in a box.
They put you in a box.
And it's hard to get out of a box, because once you're in it, that's it.
Yeah,
that's the dude that's in a wheelchair.
Suddenly, because I'm in a wheelchair, it is acceptable to come up to me and start praying over me. Okay, I'm going through the middle of the mall, and a stranger comes up to me and like grabs my hands and starts praying over me for healing, for Jesus to make. And I'm sorry, like everybody can have their religions and their beliefs, but I do not see myself as broken.
No.
I see myself as the result of decisions that I made, and those decisions I now know are not the ones that I should have made. But without those decisions, I would not have anything like this.
It's what makes you who you are, right? There are hurdles in life, and we all have them.
Exactly.
And we all have different combination of hurdles, and we have a different combination of outcomes. And at the end of the day, we're all people going through those hurdles. It's really, but it's just that it's what you're used to.
Exactly.
It's your benchmark on what that is. And for a lot of us, our benchmark, I think maybe in relation to other things, is quite small.
Yeah.
And so that's quite a massive thing. But realistically, it's only perspective
That's
that
it.
determines it. So.
And as I said, without that reliance on the physicality to be able to... Actually, I'll go a couple of steps back from it because you weren't here when we were discussing it. So Kit was talking about, the idea of having a physical disability is really daunting to so many people. But if you actually take a step back and look at society and how far we've advanced, a physical disability, actually any disability, now that we understand them more and that we've advanced as a species pretty much, means so much less. Because there are roles. So often we are judged by how we contribute to society.
Yes.
That is a main judgment point.
Yeah.
So in ages gone by and centuries gone by, being able to physically contribute, being able to work the land, being able to be a hunter-gatherer was the main thing. So the physicality was always what you were judged on. But now, there are so many roles out there, there are so many ways of contributing to society that don't require the full physical support. And I use Kit's job at the moment as an example, as a designer. You don't need that.
No?
Don't have to be athletic for my job.
I never noticed. But no, and that it's taken a while to filter through the ideas because even yourself, as you worked your way up through through your business and through through your line of work, and where you went, the physicality became less and less required. And so suddenly there's like this stigma that exists, but if people actually stop and look at it, it doesn't make any sense.
It's just historic.
It's just historic.